We are the gods that came down, and collectively we form the God, the great I am, collectively. So in the end, not one will be lost. All will be redeemed, because not one can be lost, and God remain God. So everyone is going to be redeemed, and everyone's going to have this experience to see David. So that is the one story I have come to tell you. Oh, tell you the story of how to get things. Everybody wants something that he has not now possessed, but still longs for it. You can all get it. That's not important. The progress of civilization and the external march of things will do nothing. It's simply found in the kingdom. And yet, day after day, a new invention, a new billion is made from this, that, and the other. And they think, now we are really on the way. We went to the moon. We'll go to this. We'll go to that. None of this in any way changes you. And your thoughts get deeper and deeper. You realize that the progress of civilization and the external march of things did not in any way change you, because you're turned on the outside, watching another gadget, and all the lovely things that you and I do enjoy. But you have to turn on the inside, for the kingdom of God is within. And that's where the whole drama takes place. So all things exist in your own wonderful human imagination. And all objective reality is solely produced by your wonderful human imagination. And one day you're going to find the drama taking place within you. It's not something that took place thousands of years ago. It's something that is taking place. If you read the Lord's Prayer as it's really written, which cannot be translated into English from the Latin, because the Latin does not possess the words to couch the thought of the evangelist. It's written in the imperative passive mood. Thy will must be being done. Thy kingdom must be being bestowed. Thy name must be being hallowed. It's not something that was done or to be done. It's something that is taking place. And we are drawn like a magnet into that which is always taking place. And then, because it's within us, it unfolds within us, casting us in the central role. And the central role is the Father. And because he is Father, there must be a Son, and that Son is David. So don't forget it. You who have taken a tape this night, play it back, because you may think, I've heard it, or I've heard that. Like someone, even that wonderful little story of Jonathan Seagull. You say, oh, I've read it. Don't say, I read it. Put it aside in your library and reread it, and reread it, and reread it. Now, one day it will be just as easy for you as it was to my friend when she saw how easy it was for me to get in and out of the lamb's skull, which is the symbol of the skull of God. For that's where we are. We're all contained within the one grand skull. He's like one grand dreamer, and we but brain cells in the mind of the dreamer, dreaming strange dreams, fantastic dreams. One day we will awake to discover we have never been asleep, save in our dream. That we have never died, save in our dream. That we were never born, save in our dream. And we will awake, and we will be what was the dreamer, who will now be awake. So read the 78th Psalm. I will open my mouth in a parable and speak dark sayings from of old, sayings that our forefathers told us. Now he tells it that the children who hear it now will tell it to their children, and their children will tell it to their children, without stop, throughout all unborn generations. Then we come to the end of the 78th Psalm. And the Lord awoke as one out of sleep, And he called David and appointed David the shepherd of his people Israel. He tells you the whole thing was a parable, a story with a tremendous significance, profound meaning. But all these wonderful works of leading Israel out of Egypt into the land of promise, all these mighty acts were all parables. Find the parable. But when it happens within you, you know the parable. When the serpent within you begins to rise, like a fiery serpent, you know the parable of lifting up the serpent in the wilderness. That was all a foreshadowing of that reality that one day must take place within you. So all of these take place within you, and you give meaning to the shadows. But he tells you, I will open my mouth in a parable and speak dark sayings from of old, sayings our forefathers told us. And then you must tell the next generation, and the next, and so on and so on. But in the end, and then the Lord awoke as one from sleep, but one who was heavy with wine. He drank to excess, and then he woke from that state. And then he called David from the flock and appointed him shepherd of his people of Israel. And that's how it ends, the 78th Psalm. Now let us go into the silence.